I'm gonna get in so much trouble for this video. Okay, so big news today. Comic-Con trailer of Batman vs Superman just released. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone's saying, "Oh my god, this looks amazing! This looks fantastic! I can't wait to see it. Can next summer come already? Can we just go see this movie now?" And I'm not among them. And it took me a long time to figure out why. Like, I've watched this trailer several times, many times, and I just can't get excited about it. And I kept thinking, why? Why am I not excited about this? These are the two biggest comic icons in history fighting together on screen. Why is this something I'm not more excited to see? And it finally hit me. Why this is bugging me so much. There's something in the core of my mind that just will not let me accept that this is something I should get excited for. Is because there is no evidence in this trailer, in any of the behind-the-scenes stuff I've seen and read so far, that WB, or NDC for that matter, have learned any lesson at all, from the previous fucking disasters they have put on screen. I'm gonna tell you why. Okay, let's look at the library DC has made at this point. They've all sucked. Let's put it, spoiler alert. They've all fucking sucked. Except for, like, the couple original Superman movies and the Dark Knight trilogy. Everything else has sucked. I mean, let's look at the library. We have Jonah Hex, which was a goddamn disaster. We have Catwoman, which is even more of a big goddamn disaster. And we had Green Lantern, which is also a disaster. Not as much as the other two, but still a fucking disaster and a fucking shitty movie. They don't learn their lesson. And we have Man of Steel, which is divisive at best. And here's the problem. Here's the problem is the fact that Warner Brothers keeps making the same goddamn mistake every time. Every time they make this mistake. Not so much in Man of Steel, but in all the other movies I mentioned have a common thread of they try to do too much without a solid plan, without any real coherency. It spent God knows how long in development hell trying, basically making up as they go along. They have no plan. They have no structure. And as a result, they turn out into fucking disasters. Now, I'm sure Batman vs. Superman is more planned so than the other movies, but at the same time, they are throwing everything at the kitchen sink at this thing. We have stuff that's not even in the trailers. Of course, there's Wonder Woman in there. Wonder Woman does not need to be in this movie. We have Aquaman, who I know in this movie, does not need to be in this. Cyborg might be in there. And God knows how many other characters are trying to cram into this fucking movie. And it's too much too fast. They're trying to do too much, and it's gonna be a disaster. I mean, the problem is like they're trying so hard to catch up to Marvel's huge success they've had with the Avengers. And they're doing so by just trying to cram everything together. And this is evident in everything I've heard about any DC project right now. I mean, let's take a look, even like a Suicide Squad, how many characters are trying to cram into that thing? Look at Wonder Woman and the fucking disaster that whole behind-the-scenes crap is turning out. They're auctioning off scripts to writers. They clearly have no plan. They are making the ship as they go along. Where is any attempt at developing coherency? But they think they can get away with it because they're being edgier than Marvel. They're being darker than Marvel. It's like, Patton Oswalt put this best. Here's the big difference between the way Marvel's done it and the way DC's doing it. Aside from the fact that Marvel has, a plan, is the fact that DC thinks that just by making it darker and edgier, you are doing something different and original. You're not. We've seen this shit a million times. We saw it, all over the place in the late 90s. We saw it all over the goddamn place in the early 2000s. I mean, remember Prince of Persia 2? People forget about that? I mean, I don't know it's a video game, but it's a perfect example of taking something like the first Prince of Persia game, which was a relatively lighthearted, but you can still take it seriously, fun action-adventure game, and then you look at the sequel, which was this dark, edgy, emo. We're so serious, we're so dark, we're so deep because we're angsty and shit. And it's in no way the spirit of the character or the franchise. And that's what it feels like Superman. Now granted, I liked Man of Steel. I still stand by it. I want to be clear, I love these characters. I adore Batman. I adore Superman. I love Green Lantern. I've made a huge long spiel about how Green Lantern's my favorite characters of all time. But this doesn't feel like they're writing to the strengths of the character. It looks like they're writing to the most recent trend of dark and edgy. They're trying to make everyone into Batman. Like, I think Patton Oswalt put it best. Batman can brood. Superman can't. He's not a brooder. He's not that kind of character. And the fact that they're trying to make him and all the other characters, like, that looks like what they're doing with Aquaman, which just feels like, that feels wrong. That does not feel true to the character. It does not feel what it wants. And I would be fine if what they were doing worked. But it's not. It's not good writing. I mean, granted, who knows how Batman vs. Superman could turn out to be an amazing film. Hell, I hope it is. Don't get me wrong, I'm bitching and moaning right now, but I would absolutely love for Batman vs. Superman to be a great film. I'm absolutely rooting for it. But just from what I've seen, there is something that is holding me back from believing that it's going to be. And a lot of that does with just the ham-fisted nature just in the trailer alone. You can see shit that's going to pop up all over the place in this movie. Like, in the first minute or so of the trailer, we have Superman going to the court, and the symbolism is so ridiculous and so overtly in your face. Now, a lot of people complain about this Man of Steel too. Like there's way too much Jesus metaphors in Man of Steel, and I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't paying attention, so I didn't catch a lot of it. This one, there is no way you could not see it, and it shoves it in your face, and it's really fucking distracting. Like, right off from the gate, when Superman's walking in the courthouse, you see people protesting in the back. We have protests against homosexuality metaphors. We have illegal alien metaphors. Literally, it's Superman equals illegal alien. It's the most unsubtle use of metaphors and symbolism I've seen in a movie in so goddamn long. And it's really fucking distracting. It's like, it doesn't need to be there. You don't need to compare your character to Jesus. And then it gets even worse, because and then they're at the part where Superman saves some people from like a rooftop on a flood, and the woman on this rooftop reaches out for Superman into the light, and Superman has this big, muscly, shadowy cape right in the sunlight, so it looks like an angel, and shit like that over and over and over again, just in the trailer. Imagine how obnoxious it's gonna be when the movie comes out. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's shit I liked. Like, that shot of Bruce Wayne watching his building fall because of the Superman General Zod fight. Great. That's great use of imagery. That's great use of imagery. Loved it. If they go more on that direct route, this might not be a disaster. But the problem is based on what I know they're trying to do with this, they're not. The problem is they're not trying to make a good movie. They're trying to spearhead a Justice League movie. And that's the problem. It's because there's a heavy focus on catching up with Marvel than there is on making Batman vs. Superman a good movie. Now, maybe Zack Snyder can turn that around. Maybe he can take the Warner Brothers direction and DC's direction, and he can make it work. I sincerely hope it does. I want to make that perfectly clear. I want this to be good so badly, because I've wanted this for years. Everyone else has wanted this for years. I want this to be good. But I'm not convinced it's going to be. And I've heard a lot of people today, a surprising amount of people, that it's kind of taking like a, yeah, fuck you, Marvel. You're like, yeah, you gotta step up the plate now. You gotta like, they're talking shit, Marvel. What are you gonna do? Or shut up, Marvel. Yeah, they got this one now. And here's my problem with that mentality, is because the audience hasn't really seemed to learn the lesson of the last DC movies either. They have been talking out of their ass forever, and they have very rarely ever delivered. I mean, they said that Green Lantern was going to be the next Star Wars. No, it fucking wasn't. It wasn't anywhere close. It was a terrible goddamn piece of shit. And they've done this over and over again. They've been talking out of their asses. And you don't see Marvel doing that? Yeah, but at the same time, you know what the difference is? They fucking deliver. Like, Marvel doesn't need to talk shit, because Marvel is consistently producing quality products that people will pay to go see. DC, I mean, I have yet to see a press release that has directly dissed Marvel Studios, at least that I've seen. I could be wrong, maybe someone's going to link this Show me where they have, at least in the movie department. But I've seen a lot where DC has directly commented, or at least the actors have, about like a kind of a fuck you Marvel kind of way. And that's kind of, to me, that's like the schoolyard bully making fun of the nerd and then copying his work. Because it's like, you are sitting here, you are talking shit, you are talking all these big grandiose things, and you haven't produced a single viable product that was not entirely because of Christopher Nolan. I'm sorry, I love the Dark Knight trilogy, but that was not Warner Brothers, that was not DC, that was almost entirely Christopher Nolan. And they have yet to be able to reproduce those results. Even Man of Steel, which I liked, is a massively flawed movie. So my thing is like, okay, DC, stop talking shit, make a good movie, and then you can talk shit, because you can say, yes, look what we did. We made a worthwhile product. Marvel doesn't have to do that. They've made tons of movies, good, fun movies that have a formula that works, and whether it's not as dark and edgy as a lot of people are, people enjoy it. People like it. I like it. They're good, fun movies. They know how to appeal to their audience, and they don't feel the need to talk shit in response because the profits they're bringing in and the products they're making speak for themselves. DC doesn't have that, so they have to feel a need to hype it up. They have to try to talk. There's a lot of talk, but there's no product. Marvel, there's no talk, but there's a lot of good product. So, I don't know. This got a lot more intense than I intended. I don't know. I hope this rant has made any coherent sense. I will admit, like, there's parts I kind of lost track of myself. I hope I didn't contradict myself. But I want to be clear. I really want this to be a good movie. I just don't know if it's going to be. So that's my thoughts on Batman vs. Superman so far. I mean, like I said, there was stuff I liked in the trailer. Just a lot more stuff I found really distracting and kind of brought me into a larger problem I have with Warner Bros. and DC Studios right now, is the fact that they're trying to do too much, too fast, and it's going to bite them in the ass. So I think that's all I got to say on the whole Batman vs. Superman thing. I'll receive your hate comments now. I don't know. It's one of those things. If you guys want to talk about it, leave me a comment and I'll address your comments accordingly. But you're just gonna send me a hate mail. I'm probably just gonna delete your comments. I'm sorry. I'm in no mood to put up with hate comments. So, sorry. But if you want to genuinely talk about it, yeah, let's talk about it. Because I'd be curious to see what you guys have to say. I'd be curious what your viewpoints are. And I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. What are your guys' thoughts on Batman vs. Superman? You think I'm right on something? You think I'm taking it too seriously? You think maybe Warner Bros. Has learned their lesson? Let me know in the comments. In the meantime, thank you all for watching this little side video, and I'll catch you all in whatever the hell I do next time. See ya.